What do I know about animal cruelty? It makes me angry.
I know that it happens far too much.
It really makes me sick to my stomach, and I can't watch it.
I know that there are a lot of advocate groups out there advocating for this cause.
I worked in a slaughterhouse.
I guess animal cruelty is only in the world where people who live in houses and don't have a great job beat the animals because they're angry at them.
Well, I used to have a pet when I was living with my dad. We had a cat named Chloe, and I lived with her for about 8 years, and then I moved in with my mom. I felt like Chloe was like a mom or something to me.
2 little dogs, 2 little chihuahuas, and one of them came from here, and she was mistreated, and so I put her in my happy home.
Some fish. We've had dogs in the past. I'm allergic to cats, however, I love cats. If I had them, I'd be really sick. So unfortunately, my kids would love to have cats, and we can't because both my wife and I are really allergic to cats.
I have 3 cats. My roommate has 3 cats and a dog, and I have a small house.
So that's 6 cats?
6 cats and 1 dog, yep.
The cats rule and the dog?
The cats definitely rule, yeah.
And the dog rules?
Yes, cats rule and dogs rule.
We had a mix. He was part Labrador, part German Shepherd, but he was a black dog with white coating, and he was a very friendly dog, and he loved the babies. When we had little babies in the house, he was a very friendly dog. He would even let the kids kind of climb on him, and most dogs wouldn't allow that. So,
If I'm having a bad day, my dogs can completely turn it around and make me feel happy. So I think that we would be a pretty sad society without pets.
I'm a local Portlander and I'm an artist, and I've just been spending more time in my yard with my garden and my business, and I want to expand my arc, as I say. I'm building it one by one because I just got a bird, I have a cat, I have a lizard. Now I think I want a dog as they're distracting our interview. But that's a big decision, so I come here often to visit and check and see if there's the right one for me. Hi, puppy.
My job at the Oregon Humane Society is, I'm called the investigations coordinator, and I do a whole lot of different things, but what I do mostly is I answer the phones and the emails where people leave a complaint, an animal cruelty complaint, and I assign those cases to an investigator and make sure that the investigator goes out to check on the animal. I really love to be able to take animals out of situations where they're being mistreated and put them into very good homes where they can be happy and safe. Cats tend to get neglected quite a bit only because they can reproduce so quickly, and people tend to, they don't get them spayed or neutered, and they leave them outside, and so they reproduce very, very quickly, and then where a person had 2 cats at one point, now they have 40 cats, and they can't take care of 40 cats, and so the cats' medical needs tend to be neglected, and they get sick. When you get a lot of cats in one area, they tend to get very sick, and so cats can be neglected very easily. We had a dog named Lucy, whose owner would step on her paws and step on her head and throw her head into the ground, and she came in with lots of bruising, and she was just a very sad dog. She came in with lots of worry lines on her head. Her owner was arrested, both her owners were arrested, and spent a few days in jail, and Lucy was then adopted out into a really happy home where her worry lines went away, and she is in a home with a dog that looks a lot like her. They're really hard to tell apart, so she has a very good home now.
I'm a veterinary assistant, work in the Animal Medical Learning Center. I became interested in working with animals about 6 years ago, graduated from college, and I wanted to do environmental work, but I decided that my calling was to work with animals. So I started to work here about 5.5 years ago, and we opened up our hospital, we're coming up to 2 years. So I transferred over to the hospital, about 2 years ago. We have, great veterinary staff, great veterinarians, great technicians. We do everything we can to make sure the animals are healthy and happy.
My job at OHSU is a spokesman for the university. I also work in our communications office and talk about the research that we do here and also the patient care at our hospital. Our labs do a wide variety of research. We study cancer, we study Alzheimer's, we study Parkinson's disease, I didn't say Alzheimer's before, we study Alzheimer's. We basically study any kind of disease that you can think of, and animals are a way that we help understand the disease and develop new treatments. There are lots of things that animals get, diseases that animals get, that humans also get. For instance, at our primate center, there are animals that get a disease that's a lot like MS, multiple sclerosis. And we're studying those animals to learn about multiple sclerosis so we can both treat those animals and make them better, but we of course also want to cure multiple sclerosis, which is a horrible disease that affects thousands and thousands of Americans. The way we decide what kinds of animals to use is that some animals catch certain diseases like humans and some don't. And so what you want to do is find an animal that gets a disease that's very similar to humans. So we may study mice, we may study rats, we may study a monkey, we may study a rabbit. It all depends on how close their disease is to the human disease. And if you ask me, like, how many diseases do we study, we basically study every disease you can think of, from the common flu to cancer, all the forms of cancer. Animal research is involved in basically every single treatment that we have as human beings, both for animals and for humans. Some of the animals actually grow up here at OHSU. Our monkeys at our primate center are born there, and a lot of people don't know this, but most of the animals that live at the primate center just live their lives there. They're not involved in research. There's a large number of animals that aren't studied at all. They just live in these large outdoor grassy beautiful areas with play structures. Some of our animals come to us from companies because when you're studying, for instance, mice, you don't capture a mouse in a house and study that animal. What you do is you order an animal from a company that provides them, and then they grow up here and live out their lives here.
Animal cruelty is not cool at all. You should be kind to animals. Like this sweet little puppy. He's just so cute.